A high-stakes summit between European and Chinese leaders has wrapped up in Beijing on Thursday, marking 5 decades of diplomatic ties. But tensions ran high as EU Chief Ursula von der Leyen warned that China's close ties with Russia are now the determining factor in relations with the bloc. To tell us if the meeting was able to do anything to repair relations or find any consensus, DW correspondent Emily Leshner joins us from Berlin. Emily, first give us a little background. What was the meeting initially intended to be?
Well, the meeting was meant to celebrate 50 years of diplomatic ties between Beijing and Europe, but instead leaders used this as an opportunity to express their concerns over the current state of relations between the two powers, much of which is related to trade and what the EU sees as China's support of Russia. As you mentioned, it was cut from 2 days to 1 even before it started. It was initially planned to be hosted in Brussels, but Chinese President Xi Jinping declined the invitation. And so European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen and European Council President Alexander Costa ended up traveling to Beijing for the one-day event. So instead of a celebration of relations, the meeting was really used as a stage to reiterate grievances and flex how much pressure both powers are willing to put on one another to get what they want.
Also, Emily, a growing list of disagreements, it seems, and were China and the EU able to come to agree on anything finally?
Well, the EU is agreeing to establish a mechanism for ensuring the supply of rare earth exports from China as a way to avoid production stoppages that European companies experienced last year after China decided to introduce curbs on rare earth exports last year. Now, after these curbs, the rare earth shipments to the EU fell by 84%. And this caused massive supply chain delays, and productions came to a grinding halt in Europe. That's because China controls 98% of the rare earth materials that are needed in things like electric batteries and other green technologies. So they didn't quite come to a concrete agreement about anything except to try to fix this rare earths supply chain issue that Europe has.
Okay. We'll leave it at that. Emily reporting